Hello, it's flutter-of-wings, aka Symphony, and today I'm going to be talking about the ASVAB. Now, this is the entrance test for the military, basically, and I'm not really sure what it stands for to this day, but I'm just going to share with you what I know from my experience, and it has really helped me to pass the test on the first try. So, I'm going to recommend you some items, and I'm going to show you some tips. And I think I should start off with basically the scores, because how else are you supposed to know what you're really looking for when you take the ASVAB? Well, for the Air Force, which is my branch, it is a 50 minimum, and they don't tell you how it's really scored, but as far as I found out after the test, they doubled the English score, but they kept your regular math score. So whatever you got in math was what you got. And if you got your English questions, they doubled that score, and then they add it all together. But there is no chart that they can provide you to see where you're going to be if you're concerned about where you fall. Just kind of one of those things that they keep to themselves. So, if you're thinking about the Air Force, it's going to be a 50 minimum, and I believe the Army is a 30. I'm not really sure about the Navy or the Marines, but pretty much 30 and 50 is all I got to really tell you. I myself got a 55 on my first try, and I don't know how to this day, because I depend on a calculator since I was in 5th grade, I think. And that was really the only time that I really started taking math seriously, because I came from another state which really had bad educational programs, and we just learned really basic multiplications. And then I came up to the north, and everybody was already on long division, so I had to catch up since pretty much 5th grade. But that was just my experience. I don't think it happens to many people. But I could definitely give you the tools that you're going to need to study this test. This test you cannot take the same way as an SAT or ACT. There's no trigonometry or anything crazy like that. It's really just basic algebra, and then there's logical math problems involved too. Again, just try to familiarize yourself with the test as much as you can, because I really think that's what pulled me through. And I'm not really good with fractions and decimals, but I recommend you get good at it. After a while of looking at these problems and practicing, I can't believe that I made it through, but I did. And I'm going to show you. Alright, this is probably what your recruiter is going to recommend, and I recommend it too. This is the ASVAB for Dummies, and basically it tells you how the test is laid out. You're going to have 36 minutes to answer 30 arithmetic problems. So, basically word problems. You're going to have 36 minutes to answer 30 of them. And your word knowledge, which is words that they just throw out of the blue, or they put it in a sentence and you have to figure out what it means. And you're going to have to answer 35 words in 11 minutes. So that really leaves you half a whole minute to do, one. Alright, paragraph comprehension. You're going to have 15 questions in 13 minutes. Learn to read fast, and only the first sentence and the last sentence are going to mainly tell you what the answer is. And if you need to go back, do it in that second, because you're not allowed to go back on any tests or any questions at all. So once you skip it, it's done. You're gonna have 15 questions in 13 minutes to answer all those, and your math knowledge, which is basic math problems. It's like your algebra, and solving for x's and y's, and sometimes they put in polynomials. You're gonna have 25 math questions in 24 minutes. So what I recommend there is try to refamiliarize yourself with fractions and decimals, and I think that you can find the patterns between those questions. But yes, there is no calculator, so please learn to write every thought out. Yes, I definitely recommend this book because you're going to go through several practice quizzes. I know I did a bunch, so just keep familiarizing yourself. And as far as the word questions are involved, which is actually my favorite part because I love English, but this Barron's ASVAB word. Wait, what is this? Sorry. Barron's ASVAB flashcards. These are also recommended to me. But coincidentally, it was perfect because look at this. You put all these cards on these rings. And there's a whole bunch of these. So these are all your cards. I recommend anytime at all. Keep looking at these. You're gonna have questions on there that are gonna ask you how to fit the shapes in. And I don't think you can see that at all. But basically, it is a portion of the test that tells you where you're gonna put your job in. And it's more like a qualifier than it is for the main score. So you're just gonna have extra questions like that. And you're going to also have questions that are technical. So we're going to ask you a lot of questions about cars. I don't know much about cars. My goodness, I'm just trying to drive. So I definitely familiarize yourself with those questions too. Try to just think logic sense. If it helps, pretend like you know it, because sometimes I've done that too, and I've actually gotten the questions right. So, but yes, I would definitely suggest looking at words wherever. Read anything. Figure out any words that look unfamiliar with you. And also, read these cards. But, gosh, that's pretty much all I've got. So, I would suggest, definitely do not make yourself nervous on the day. I was freaking out and shaking, and they put us in this dark room. They put us in another strange dark room, and then when I got to the test center, it was like these computers, and they had this shield over it. And they're just like, okay, you guys just take the test, and whoever's the last one, you just keep taking the test. Don't worry about anybody else. I was the very last one, and it took me about 3.5 hours. So, yeah, you just don't want to put yourself in that position again, because I've known people who had to take the ASVAB about a few times. And do not study like this any other test. You need to individually study for the ASVAB. Do not try to bring high school knowledge into it, because it's really not going to work. But that's my ASVAB how-to video, I guess. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.